Ariane, is this thing on? Hi, everybody. Oh, hold on. We got to see, make sure we're on the interwebs. Hi, guys. Oh, well, let me first mute myself. There we go. I am checking the Facebook. Okay. How's everybody doing? The internet's hard. Interneting is hard. Oh, there it. No, do I see myself?
I see you on YouTube.
Do you?
Can I hear you?
I don't see myself. Oh, there I am. Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi. Marilyn. Hi. So Don Kingston is watching the YouTube comments. I am watching the Facebook comments. Can you guys hear me okay? Hi, Desiree. Hi, Kelly. Hi, everybody. Hi, Holly. What's going on, everyone? Don Kingston, how's everybody doing on the YouTube? Hi.
Okay.
Hi. Oh, see, I wish I had my glasses.
You have them on your head.
I know, but I can't read all those things. Okay, hi. Oh, good. Yay. Hi, everybody. We're going to give everybody Maria, Susan, Connie, Rebecca. Hi, guys. And, oh, good. We're going to get everybody a minute or two to log on before we begin making our pumpkins. I also have some things to give away. So first of all, shout out to Joann. God bless them. So I do a lot of work with Joann and was working on my Halloween ghosts. I don't know if you guys saw those cheesecloth ghosts. Oh, here comes the big dog. All the dogs are downstairs. So, and I told her, Callie, who works at Joann, I told her I was going to do these pumpkins and how I'd gotten the really cool yarn at Joann. And she was like, do you want me to send you a giant box full of stuff? Hi, buddy. I don't know if you guys could see Baloo from here. Can you? No, you can just see his butt. She was like, can I send you a giant box of things to give away? Yeah. Yes, please. That would be amazing. So thank you to Joann for sending all the yarn. So here's, if you're new to, excuse me while I scratch Baloo's butt while I'm talking. If you're new to us, hi, we're happy to have you. If you have joined us before, same rules for giveaways. So we're going to give away one set, and I'll show you what we're giving. I'll give you one away on Facebook and one away on YouTube. To be, all you have to do to be eligible is just leave a comment of any kind, like where you're from, if this is your first time watching, if you've ever made a pumpkin, whatever you want to talk about, what the weather's like. To be eligible on YouTube, you have to comment while we are live, because for some reason on YouTube it doesn't save the comments, so you can't see them after. If you, so we will pick the winner before we, hi buddy, before we go off tonight. If you are watching on Facebook, you have until, is today Wednesday? So Friday morning, I will pick a winner on Facebook, so you have a chance to like watch the replay and enter. But here's what we're giving away. Hi buddy, let me get up off my thing. I have a microphone plugged in. Like we got a lot going on this afternoon. Tonight, babe, will you come zoom over here for 1 second? Yeah. So here's what we are giving away. So we're using this giant, amazing blanket yarn, which is glorious. And they sent us 5 giant rolls, and they sent us these like amazing giant knitting needles. So one person is going to get, and now the dogs are bothering Don.
Take them upstairs.
Okay.
So it's just looking at the yarn.
Okay, so one person is going to get these two. I am obsessed with this color scheme. So one person is going to get these 2 giant rolls and the knitting needles and this little bag of Joann goodies. It's got like a notepad and some other stuff in there. And then the other person is going to get this 3-pack of this glorious, look at this. I was going to actually use this for my pumpkin tonight, but I decided I'd give it away to someone because I love you guys. So, so somebody's going to get this big old pile of 3, and somebody's going to get this pile of 2 with the big needles. So we will draw the YouTube. No, I'll go over here, babe. So we'll draw the YouTube name before we're done, and then Facebook you have until Friday morning. Okay, everybody ready? So let's go over what you need. I'm so excited to know what colors people are picking. I hope when this is done that you will tag me like on Instagram or Facebook, or put it in the comments or whatever. I really want to see like what colors you picked and how your pumpkins turned out. So I'm super excited about this. If you have questions, once we get started, I'll be checking, Don Kingston as always, we'll be checking the sections to see if anybody has questions. We want to help you get this. This is quite possibly the easiest project you will ever do for any holiday. someone, when I initially posted this, was like, you forgot to mention glue. No, I didn't, because you don't need any. That's the amazing thing about it. So this is a great project to do with kids, fun to do with your family. Everybody can do their favorite color. Okay, so here's what you need. You need one dollar store foam pumpkin. I thought they only sold them in orange. Apparently they also sell them in white and black. Learn something new every day. So you just need one of those. You need a skein of the blanket yarn. Depending on where you buy it, at Joann it's called extra thick. I think it's called big. At some other stores it might be called, but it's this nice thick sort of rope. You need, and here's the thing, I'm not giving measurements like lengths because everybody's going to do this a little bit differently. So you're just going to start with the skein. You probably will have enough to do a second one. If you have this big one, you for sure will. But there's no specific measurement, and you'll see why in a bit. Then you need to have, I said you needed a steak knife or a box cutter because this is pretty thick. The styrofoam is pretty thick, and not all craft knives are that long. So I was able to find a craft knife that was that long, but I just need you to have a long blade of some kind because we're going to get through here. And then you need to have some sort of stem. So in one of my finished pumpkins, I used a stick from our backyard. But I love to use the cinnamon sticks because it makes things smell really nice. But we also are water folks. And so I love using driftwood if you're somebody that like loves the coastal look at your house. But I love the cinnamon sticks. So you need some sort of like 1/2-inch round stick of some kind because that's going to be your stem. The ribbon is optional. I like it because it adds a little pop of color, and we'll talk about that when we get towards the end. Okay. Is everybody ready? Does everybody have their supplies? So good.
Let me check for questions.
Okay. Anybody have questions so far? Ooh, a roll of toilet paper. Kim saw somebody. That's a cool idea. Okay. I know squishing these things of yarn has been very emotionally satisfying. Okay.
No comments.
No comments. No questions so far. I also am having a cocktail. So you see me drinking something. It's not beer, but it looks like it. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is take our pumpkin. Yours may come with a little tag on it. Just pull that right out. You don't even need to cut it because we're going to cut a giant hole in there. So then I think everybody's pumpkin should be the same. You see there's sort of like this ring right here that's got, like, you can feel the little lip right there. So we're going to cut inside that ring, and we're going to leave like 1/3 to 1/2 an inch. So you do not need to measure. This does not need to be a perfect circle. Let me show you the one I did on my other pumpkin. I mean, that's no perfect circle. You know what I'm saying? You just want to cut a hole that leaves about there. I'll show you right there. See that little gap right there? Like maybe 1/2 an inch or so. And you're going to just cut around in the circle. It does not have to be exact. So we're all going to cut around. And this noise makes my skin crawl. So everyone just hold your breath and do it real quick. Oh, God. This noise is giving me, woo! This is why I drink. Okay.
Sharon's here.
Hi, Mom. Sharon is my mother. Hello. Mom, I have some yellow yarn for you to do this when you are over this weekend. Mom asked me to save her some, and I have, because I'm such a good daughter. Okay. So you're going to cut around, and again, it does not have to be exact, and then you're going to want to pry it open. Oop, there it goes. There it goes. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't matter if you're not going to see any of this. It doesn't matter. You want to wipe off the foam, and then you're going to flip it over. Take the piece that you just did. Here's the easiest way to do it. I just stick this in the middle, and I don't leave it in the whole time. I just mark on the sides so my circles are about the same. And then you pull it out. And then you do it again. Oh, God. Am I the only person that's bothered by this noise? Because it's giving me a vibe. All right. How's everybody's cutting going, babe? So obviously this is the only part that you don't want to let your kids do. So if you wanted to do this for a girls' night, I would just, in fact, I did do this. So one of my girlfriends reminded me, we did do this for a girls' night the year before COVID. You just pre-cut all the pumpkins. And again, they don't have to see how I sort of off-cut that. You just line that falls out. Okay, good. How's everybody doing with their pumpkin cutting? Good. And
The
there's,
colors and yes, the noise is annoying.
I know, I'm so sorry.
I was on the chalkboard.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
That's it.
Okay, good. Everybody feels the same about the annoying noise. All right, let me put a cover on my blade. And you do want to get your styrofoam mess sort of out of the way because you don't want it to get caught in your, I got a big thing. You don't want it to get caught in your yarn. So once you got nice clean surface, you're gonna take your yarn. So I don't do a ton of stuff with yarn. Thanks to Joann, I learned how to do finger knitting, which was super cool, but I don't know a lot about yarn. And with the finger knitting, if you, like when you were moving on to another skein, you could tie a knot. And so it didn't matter where you started, you could just sort of start on a piece of yarn. With this, you need to start at the end because what you don't want is to be like a couple rows in and then it breaks, or, you know, then it's snipped, because there's no real good way to fix that. So with your yarn, you're just going to have to poke around and see. The best place to look, and I actually found this on mine, is there should be a piece of string, a piece of yarn that's tucked into the end. Pull around some of the pieces at the end. That's how I found mine, is it just pulls out, and that's where you find your end. But it's really important with other projects, you know, if you're only using a foot or two, you can just cut right out of the middle. You need to find the end of your yarn. So we're gonna let everybody find the end of their yarn. It's so, I know that I'm so apologize for the noise. It's emotionally traumatizing for everyone. I'm so sorry. Judy, I agree about buying more pumpkins. If you do want to make this a girls' night, you can buy these pumpkins on dollartree.com, but you have to buy 36, but they're $1 a piece. So, okay. Everybody ready? Now, this is the part that's so amazing. So you don't need to unravel the entire thing, but give yourself a, you know, couple feet to get started. And then just set it aside in a pile. Here's how this works. I'm telling you this, your minds are going to be.
Need to be in tight on this.
You can if you want to, just for a little bit. So you're going to drop the base, you're going to drop the edge of your yarn into the pumpkin and just sort of let it rest there. I mean, like an inch or two. You're going to hold it with your finger, and it's going to probably fall out. Doesn't matter. Hold it with your finger. Flip the, and set it down. Flip it over. Put it down a couple inches, inch or two or three.
Tuck it in.
Tuck it in. Flip it over. Now see, the tail fell out. That's okay. We're going to put it back in. And don't worry about pulling tight. Don't worry about any of that. We just need to get the pattern started. So then I'm going to put in a couple inches of this. And here's where you, there's not a specific pattern, but you do want to try to keep it as even as possible. So once you've got it across the half, you tuck in that end. You go about a quarter of the way around. And you do it again. And again, if your end keeps falling out, that's okay. I'll show you why in a bit. Tuck it in. Go to the other quarter. Flip it over and see, my end keeps popping out, but that's okay. Because the more yarn I tuck in, the more it's going to stay. So I tuck that in. And then you just start filling in the gaps. So as you're working, you'll know, as we get sort of close to being finished, I'm going to show you some tricks, but you just sort of like each quarter, you cut in, not cut in half, but you fill in with some yarn. Tuck it in, go to the opposite corner and see how this is loose. We still don't care because we're just going to keep tucking in as we go. Go to the opposite corner, tuck it in, keep tucking in that edge. Okay, now this looks like it needs. So again, there's no, you don't have to like keep track of anything. And you can see how I'm holding my fingers in here just to sort of get it started. And then I go over here. And the other nice thing is these pumpkins have ridges. So you can actually sort of set your yarn in the ridges and that helps hold it in place. Now you notice my tail is no longer falling out because there's enough other yarn in there that's keeping it in place. This is, once it starts staying in, that's where you can like pull a little tighter if you feel like some of your loops are loose, you can start tucking them in a little bit more. And we're just going around and around. Tuck. See, now there's nothing falling out anymore. So you tuck it in.
So we have a good question.
Don says we have a good question.
Kelly wants to know, could you cut strips of yarn?
So Kelly wants to know if you cut strips of yarn. You can, but the problem is then you keep having to worry about the ends falling out. As they loop, they sort of hold each other in the base. So you can, but you'll keep having to cut and tuck and worry about them falling out as you go. It also makes it harder to make the pattern because you're worrying about keeping all the ends in. Plus it's just one more step. And I'm a little too lazy for extra steps. So see now, and now I've sort of like, I'm looking around. Here's a little ridge that doesn't have yarn yet. So I go ahead and tuck it in and wrap. And once you get this started, it actually goes pretty quickly. So once you've sort of filled in all the ridges, then you just start filling in where you see orange. And there's absolutely don't feel like you need to, keep track and, okay, I need to do every eighth. I need to do you're just sort of filling in, trying to keep it as even as possible, but you're not worrying too much about it. And as you tuck, here's the other thing as you move along, be sure, don't just tuck it like in half an inch or so down. Give it a good couple inches. See how deep my finger is in there? And I know this is this could easily be misconstrued as something else. Because when we try to, so the more yarn you put in, the more yarn is going to be in here and it could get pretty full and then you could have a hard time getting your stem in. So don't be, I mean, you've got so much yarn, don't be stingy with how far down you push it in. And so you just keep on keeping on. How's everybody doing? And you will be surprised at how quickly these come together. And once you do one of these, you will be able to do these like mindlessly in front of the TV and it'll be the greatest thing that's ever happened to you. For people that joined us late, hi, we're happy to have you. We're doing 2 giveaways. So if you are on YouTube, you need to, YouTube or Facebook, just leave us a comment, say, where you're tuning in from, if you're new, if you've ever done these, whatever you want to say. On YouTube, we're picking the name tonight. On Facebook, you have until Friday morning. Don Kingston says we have a good question. Sock it to us, babe.
All right. Karen wants to know, is there any reason you can't hot glue the first end in?
Ooh, that is great. You can hot glue.
Any other question?
Oh, sorry. Who? Karen asked?
Yeah.
Karen asked if there's any reason why you can hot glue the first part in. You absolutely can. Again, well, the trick is the temperature with the styrofoam, and also I don't want to be sticking my finger in somewhere where there's yarn with hot glue, like getting it in there. But if you want to try it, heck yeah. But it's also one of those, if you're doing hot glue, you might not want to let your kids do it. So this is one of those things that, like, if you find something that works better for you, I am all for it. I'm a lazy crafter. And again, like I can work on these in the car. I don't have to have any extra tools, but heck yes, girl, if you want to hot glue that sucker in there, do it. You absolutely can. This is your project. You can absolutely do what you want to do. And I think it's a great idea. Okay. As you're getting closer to getting full, obviously I still have a lot of orange. So I want to be covering the orange, and then I'm going to use more yarn. But here's what you can do. If you start to feel like you're overlapping the same place over and over, let me see. So right here, see how I've got a little bit of orange right here, and I've got a little bit of orange right here. You can actually slide them over and fill in the hole. So don't, like, once these pieces of yarn are in place, you can easily push them to one side or the other. Sometimes I get distracted, or like I feel like I'm getting too much yarn on one side of the pumpkin and not on the other. You can easily scooch the yarn around to fill in where you want to fill in, because what you don't want to do is end up with so much yarn, because you're going to use quite a bit, that you can't fit that it starts to look like a weird non-pumpkin shape, or that you can't get your stem in. So as you start to get closer, you just keep looking for where there's orange. And then, so like, here's a little bit of orange. Here's a little bit of orange right here. So I just scoot this over to cover that orange. I can put that here, and now I've sort of killed two birds with one stone, and I don't have a ton of yarn. So you keep pushing it in. You keep putting it. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
I'm always checking YouTube.
Everybody's putting everybody's busy shoving yarn into the foam pumpkin. DC says she's not a yarn person, but you like the texture. And I'm not a huge yarn person. I mean, I love yarn, but I'm not good at making things with it. This is, as you saw, you know, I had 3 pumpkins sitting out here on display. I have 2 more upstairs. This is one of my favorite easy fall projects. And as you guys know, I love blue. So the fact that I can customize these pumpkins to be whatever color and shade I want. Okay, so.
Janelle says, so you tuck it in, but not all the way through.
Right. So you don't want it to come out. That's a great question. You don't want it to come all the way out the other side. You're just tucking it in about probably that deep. So 2.5, 3 inches or so. So you're tucking it in just to hold it so that it starts to hold itself in. So I'm looking at my pumpkin and I see.
And while you're thinking, Patricia wants to know how much is one of those things of yarn?
How much it costs or how much it
costs for one of those things of yarn?
I am not sure. I want to say like 20. So Patricia was asking about these. I want to say they're like $25. So buy it with a coupon, obviously. I want to say they're like $25 on Joann.com. I will. Oh, maybe Don Kingston, will you look on Joann while we're doing this? Okay, so I've got one little bit of yarn or orange here, and I've got one little bit here, so I'm gonna separate that out and tuck that in, and then you want to take a sort of a last look around. I think I've got it all. Okay, so then here's the trick. Oh, you are going to need a little pair of scissors.
$21.99.
$21.99 for the blanket extra thick.
Blanket extra thick yarn.
$21.99, Dom Kingston says. So you can use your coupon. So good. Okay. So once you have yours fully covered, you want to pull it back out. And you want to, so here's where the hole is. You want to trim another 2 or so inches, cut it, and then stuff that all the way down in there. And my friend, you're like 99% done with your pumpkin. And again, you can move these around. You can sort of shape it however you want it. There is no top or bottom, really. So you just sort of look and see which one you like best. How's everybody doing? Is everybody good? I feel like everybody's, yeah, these are so, and I mean, how great would these be for hostess gifts, right? You keep a couple skeins of yarn, you have $1 pumpkin, bring these over to people's houses and say, I made this for you. Happy fall, happy Thanksgiving. I mean, people are going to think it's the greatest thing that has ever existed. Okay.
2 things.
Tell me.
Marilyn says, don't forget to like Beth's video.
Oh, you guys are so nice. I really am the worst. Yes. Thank you for liking who said that, Marilyn? Yeah. Marilyn says to like my video. Thank you. I'm the worst like self-promoter in history of things. Oh, we got another question. Don Kingston's looking.
How many pumpkins do you think you can make with one ball of yarn? Susan wants to know.
So I have the smaller skein. We could definitely do 2 out of this. With these, I would probably 4 or more. And the trick is too, and here's the interesting thing, and then we'll talk about the stems. So this blue pumpkin, so this one I took apart probably 3 times. So this is one I had upstairs. I couldn't remember the size of the hole to cut in the pumpkin, and I wanted to be sure. So I pulled out this, I'll do it right now. I pulled out this stem, and I pulled this, where's the end? Started pulling this out. I pulled the whole thing apart, and when I put it back together, each time I was able to cut away more yarn, because the longer I've been doing these, the better I get at making sure the yarn goes in the right place. So I'm using less yarn each time. That's why I didn't want to give a measurement, because it totally depends. What, babe?
Everyone loves the navy.
I know, I love the navy one so much. Okay, so let's talk about the stem really quickly. You just saw me shove that one in there. Here is the trick about your stem. Because depending on how tightly you put the yarn in here, you may have to work a little bit to get the stem in, but that's a good thing because it's going to stick. So what you do is you slide it in, and then you just need to rotate it because that's going to move the loops of yarn underneath. You rotate it until it will go down as far as you want. So I don't know if you guys can see, like, it's not going to go anymore. So I need to see if, now that I've moved, there was a little bit of yarn, so now I can push it down more. Obviously, I don't want it down that far, but that's how you're going to get it to the size you want. You might have to maneuver a little bit to sort of, and you'll feel the yarn underneath to sort of scoot it out of the way, but that's how you can get it to be the height you want. And again, I love the cinnamon sticks. So, but let me, so this one is the cinnamon stick, as is this one, just because I love the smell. This one is a piece of driftwood, which I love for like more muted colors or more pastels. And then this one is a stick from our neighborhood, stick from our yard. So it just totally depends what you've got, what you want to use with it, what you got laying around. And then the other, so I tied the ribbon around the stem of this guy, but actually most of the time, because again, wood, I'm too lazy to get out my glue gun. This bow is actually hot glued to the front. So see how it's not tied on? It's hot glued on. I'm the world's worst bow maker. I mean, I might not be the worst, but I'm pretty close. This one I also hot glued on. So you see it's not wrapped around the stick. So you can do whatever, like you could even buy, you know, pre-made bow at a store if you don't know how to tie bows or you're terrible at it. Or if you want to give it a whack, I did this evening, you can just tie it on. So it's whatever tickles your fancy. You can use whatever scraps you got. I mean, it's just the greatest thing. It just makes me so happy. Okay. How's everybody doing? Who has questions? Everybody good?
I had a great idea.
Talk to me.
Cinnamon sticks make for great pumpkins in the bathroom.
Oh, that is a good idea. Diane says that cinnamon sticks would be great for if you put one of these in the bathroom. Amen. Amen to that, girl. Have you ever made the pumpkins out of drying venting? Oh, the ones where you, yes, I haven't made one, but those are so super cute, of drying venting. Felt, you could make felt leaves for your pumpkins. I have seen, oh my gosh, it's like dried, almost like dried hay. You can find it in the floral department. And instead of putting a bow on, I've seen people like put it around the top like a little ring. Oh, you could do little flowers, like a little flower wreath. I mean, there are so many possibilities with this. And again, there are so many choices. Like I must really, like I said, I must really love you guys to give this to someone, because how cool would this look on a pumpkin? Like, I think this would be amazing. You could do the black for Halloween. I mean, there's just so, oh my gosh, there's just so many good choices. Moss, thank you. I'm just having a moment. Who said Moss? Kathy said Ross. Mom, Raffia. Yeah, see, so many good things. Can you repeat how you end that yarn? I sure can. So once you find the end, and like this is the, I'll pull this whole thing apart. Nope, that's not the end. Nope. We'll pretend this is the end. Here, we'll just pretend this is the end. So once you come to the, we'll pretend this is the end. You want to cut it, like give yourself some room, cut it, and then just tuck the end back in, because that's going to be held in place by your stem. So no gluing required, no nothing. It just holds itself in place. It's so fantastic. Let's see. Handmade felt flowers. Should you remove the cinnamon stick before storing? Oh, Don Kingston says you can come back up. So these are craft cinnamon sticks, which you find again, like in the floral section or in the Christmas, now that they're starting to put Christmas out, Christmas decorating section. These are not, the cinnamon sticks that you use for food are much smaller. These come like this in a giant bag, so you don't have to remove them. They just smell nice. But yeah, so these aren't the cinnamon, these aren't like the food cinnamon sticks. These are the craft ones. So number one, if you are watching on YouTube, you have like 30 more seconds to say hi and leave a comment, because then Don Kingston is going to pick a name. We're going to pick up one winner on YouTube right now while we're live. And then if you're watching on Facebook, you can watch the replay, and you have until Friday morning when I will announce a winner. Babe, will you pan across here and show everybody? So these beautiful, like variegated colors, these are all from Joann. Don online, $21.99. You can make probably 4 pumpkins with each of these, and use your coupon because they're amazing. And so we're giving, one person is going to get this set of 2 and the giant crochet needles, and then the other person's going to get that set of 3 over there. So it's going to be, somebody's going to be making a lot of pumpkins. It's going to be very exciting. But this is great for a girls' night. This would be fun to do with your kids. This would be fun to do like with your family on the weekend. Shoot, you could make them at Thanksgiving. I mean, it's just like the coolest thing, but I love these as hostess gifts. So for example, if you come to my house, everyone on earth knows that blue is my favorite color. How psyched would I be if someone showed up at my house with this and was like, I made this for you. Thanks for having us over, or happy Thanksgiving. Like, this is an amazing hostess gift. And the great thing about the fall is you have until the end of November to give these out. So this is an amazing, amazing gift. And it just takes like a couple bucks. Great to do with your grandkids. Thank you. Mary said knitting needles, not crochet. Thank you, Mary. You see, that tells you everything you need to know about how much I know yarn. Okay, let's pick a winner for the YouTube. Don Kingston has picked Penny Sanchez. So Penny, if you are watching, if you will send an email to info@thekingstonhome.com with your mailing address, we will get a box in the mail to you of the goodies. And like I said, even if you're watching this replay on YouTube, go over to Facebook, leave a comment over there. You have until Friday to win. How's everybody doing? I know, such great hostess gifts. Like, if any of you guys invite me over, clearly you know what I'm bringing. Such a good way to craft. And what's great about these, and I could get off on this tangent, especially with COVID over the last year and a half, it's been hard to make new friends and hard to get together. Even people who would not, like if I said to some of my neighbors, hey, do you want to come over for a craft night? Most of them would probably say no. If I said, hey, do you want to come over and make some pumpkin home decor? Most of them are going to say yes. So this is a great way to get your friends who are not necessarily crafty, or your neighbors, or like your mom's group, or anybody you've been wanting to get together with. This is a great project because it's easy, it's inexpensive, it's not you're not scrapbooking or card making, which I know a lot of us love to do, but not everybody's into that. But almost everybody likes to have cute home decor and make it themselves, and it's easy. So that's my advice for tonight. Invite some people over that would never come and craft with you. Make these pumpkins. Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. Okay. Yes, everyone rush to the store to get more pumpkins. And Joann is where you can find this beautiful, extra thick blanket yarn. Okay. I think we're good. You guys are so amazing. Please, 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 I want to see what you are making. So leave me a picture in the comments. If you're on Instagram, here on Facebook, the Kingston Home, I would love, put me in your story, wherever you want to, put me in your stories, tag me. I would love to see them. I would love to share them. I'm so excited to see what combinations you guys put together. And I hope you had a good time. Thank you again to Joann. You guys are the greatest. Thanks for feeding my need for pretty colorful yarn. Okay, everybody have a good rest of your week and a good weekend. And that's it. Kingstons are out. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you.